Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing well, and welcome to this evening's live stream. My name's Ativia, and I'm really happy to see you. Well, I can't see you, but I'm really happy to have you here with me this evening. It's great. How has your day been? Okay. Well, we're going to continue reading Exodus, and we're going to read today chapters 12 to 14. And as you know, we are using the English Revised Version of the Bible, and we're going to use the digital version. I'm going to bring it up on screen. And as usual, going to read through. If there's anything that crops up that we feel should be discussed or just narrated a little bit more, I will do that. And why don't we just go straight in? Okay, so we're going to start, as I said earlier, on chapter 12. Oh, just to say, there's nothing to rehash from yesterday, but if there's anything that you feel that should be rehashed or that we should go over again, please comment in chat or in the comment section, and I'll have a read, and most definitely I'll answer your question or I will bring it up in this live stream. Okay, so I just forgot to say that, but it's really important because, as you probably have noticed in the last two streams, maybe even more if you go back further, as part of the introductory section, we just like to go over things that I missed in the previous stream or things that I thought we probably just need to go over again for clarification purposes, because it's very important that we have a good understanding of what we're reading. And even though every part of the Bible is important because it tells us something and we can learn from it, we can learn, because I've only just remembered this and I was thinking about it. I know in two streams before this one, we spoke about some proverb, what's it? Let me just get the number for you. Proverb 19, verse 14, where the Lord tells us, "House and wealth are inherited from fathers, but a prudent wife is from the Lord." And I did speak about that. Then I happened to mention Adam and Eve. And I spoke, what happened with Adam and Eve happened. But I forgot to say, and this is the most important part, especially when we go through the Bible, we can learn from the actions of others. We can learn from their mistakes. Okay, because, that's just it, basically. We can learn from their mistakes. So we don't Adam could have, because I did say this. I said, well, Adam could not have eaten from the apple as Eve did, and we wouldn't be in this situation. But what happened has happened. Didn't mean that Eve was a bad partner for Adam. What it means is that mistakes were made. Okay? And what I forgot to say was that we can learn from those mistakes. And the learning point is to obey the Lord's commandments, is to listen to what the Lord has said and to obey by what he said, or to obey what he said. Just follow it. Don't question it. I know there's incidences where prophets or people that the Lord has taken to heart, who he's spoken to, have said to the Lord, "Oh, Lord, why don't you consider this? Why don't you forgive the people?" And the Lord has considered it and he's forgiven. Okay? And we will come to those sections. But an important point for me is that we learn from the mistakes that people have made, and especially people who are that close to God, especially the likes of Adam and Eve. It's a learning point. So, yeah, I don't want to stress it too much because I'll be repeating myself, but it's just something that if there's a part of the Bible that we're reading before, well, they could have done differently, or the Lord got angry with the situation, as it was with Adam and Eve, where we can learn from that. And the only learning point that I can think of, and I welcome the comment from others, is that, well, take heed to what the Lord has told you. It's very important. Because we're human, the Lord created us in his image. We don't know everything. We don't know the ramifications. We don't fully know how Satan operates. We don't fully know how he can influence us. I spoke about the influences that he can do, but I assume there's more than that. Who knows if he can read our minds? He probably can. Okay, who knows if he can manipulate us in other ways through, I don't know, bodily functions even. He's an angel, a powerful angel, and they were created, how do I call it, greater than man, but they are more powerful than man. So we don't fully know the range of powers that he has or the range of influence that he has. But from my experience, he's very powerful. And he can influence a lot of things. So if the Lord says do A, do A. Now don't do A plus or A minus, do A. It's important. Okay, because God has our interests at heart. Satan does not. As I said, I am sure he hates us because we are the Lord's creation and he rebelled against God. So in no way will he like us. So if you're serving him, if he's a big part of your life, well, just think about what I just said and start to reconsider your options. Okay, and if you're reconsidering your options, all you have to do, that is all you have to do. It's not a matter of consulting somebody. It's not a matter of jumping up and down. It's a matter of facing reality and looking at the Lord's commandments, following them, knocking on the door and asking the Lord to accept you into his kingdom and to be baptized in the Holy Spirit. Okay? So those are the moves that you can make, that you should make, because I can guarantee you that Satan does not have your best interest at heart, okay? And he's manipulating and using you for his own benefits, maybe to claim that he is God or he can control the Lord's creation, okay? But whatever reason it is, it's not positive. So we don't need to get bogged down by, oh, well, what reason is it? It's a reason he's the opposite of God. Okay, so we just want to move ourselves away from the darkness and go into the light. Okay, that's the message that I want to get across, and those are the actions that you should make. Okay, so let's roll on through Exodus. It's amazing how quickly we've gone, for me anyway, because I used to stream maybe once a week, maybe once a couple of weeks. But as I said, that I've just done this thing since last week, that I just want to stream every weekday until the end of the month. And then from April, I just go back to my normal streaming pattern, which would be once or twice a week. Okay? So, and to be honest with you, I'm really enjoying this. I'm really enjoying this. It's giving, I'll tell you what it's been giving me. It's giving me happiness because this is the first time for me that I've been able to share the word of God verbally. Okay, and I'm really enjoying it. It does make me feel happy that I'm in a position in my life where I can share the word of God with other human beings, with other people. It's just fantastic. I never thought that I would be in this situation. I never thought that I would be a person to be speaking like this on a forum like this or any other forum, to share the word of God, and, come into the Lord's kingdom. The door is wide open for you. Okay. And, I feel like that. I look forward to the streams. I look forward to getting them done. Not getting them done. I look forward to participating in them. Okay. And, it's the highlight of my day. It's once I finish a stream, I just feel so buoyed up, so happy that I can get on with the rest of my day. And I just feel my feet are light on the ground, and it's just like I'm just surfing, It's a really good feeling. Probably hard to express, but I hope you've understood what I've tried to say. So, welcome again. And let's see. Okay. Got a few viewers on Twitch, which is excellent. And I really need to build up my YouTube participation. But if you're watching the recording and you're not live, please consider, I dare you, and I double dare you, to just press the follow button. Yeah, if you like what you see, just press the follow button. That'd be really appreciated. It just helps with things, I know people say algorithms, stuff like that. But I usually am able to say that properly. Algorithms. So, it helps. So if you do like what you're hearing, and if you like the whole show or just parts of it, press the follow button. That will be appreciated. So let's roll on with chapter 12. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, "This month shall be for you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year for you. Tell all the congregation of Israel that on the 10th day of this month, every man shall take a lamb according to their father's house, a lamb for a household, and if the household is too small for a lamb, then he and his nearest neighbor shall take according to the number of persons, according to what each can eat. You shall make your count for the lamb. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male, a year-old. You may take it from the sheep or from the goats, and you shall keep it until the 14th day of this month, when the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill their lambs at twilight. Then they shall take some of the blood and put it on the two doorposts and the lintel of the houses in which they eat it. They shall eat the flesh that night, roasted on the fire with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. They shall eat it. Do not eat any of it raw or boiled in water, but roasted, its head with its legs and its inner parts. And you shall let none of it remain until the morning. Anything that remains until the morning you shall burn. In this manner you shall eat it, with your belt fastened, your sandals on your feet, and your staff in your hand, and you shall eat it in haste. It is the Lord's Passover, for I will pass through the land of Egypt that night, and I will strike all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast. And on all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgments. I am the Lord. The blood shall be a sign for you on the houses where you are, and when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and no plague will befall you to destroy you when I strike the land of Egypt. This day shall be for you a memorial day, and you shall keep it as a feast to the Lord throughout your generations. as a statute forever. You shall keep it as a feast. 7 days you shall eat unleavened bread. On the first day you shall remove leaven out of your houses. For if anyone eats what is leavened from the first day until the 7th day, that person shall be cut off from Israel. On the first day you shall hold a holy assembly, and on the 7th day a holy assembly. No work shall be done on those days, but what everyone needs to eat, that alone may be prepared by you. And you shall observe the feast of unleavened bread, for on this very day I brought your host out of the land of Egypt. Therefore you shall observe this day throughout your generations as a statute forever. In the first month from the 14th day of the month at evening, you shall eat unleavened bread until the 21st day of the month at evening. For 7 days no leaven is to be found in your houses. If anyone eats what is leavened, that person will be cut off from the congregation of Israel. Whether he is a sojourner or a native of the land, you shall eat nothing leavened. In all your dwelling places you shall eat unleavened bread. Then Moses called all the elders of Israel and said to them, Go and select lambs for yourselves, according to your clans, and kill the Passover lamb. Take a bunch of hyssop and dip it in the blood that is in the basin, and touch the lintel and the 2 doorposts with the blood that is in the basin. None of you shall go out of the door of his house until the morning. For the Lord will pass through and strike the Egyptians. And when he sees the blood on the lintel and on the 2 doorposts, the Lord will pass over the door and will not allow the destroyer to enter your houses to strike you. You shall observe this rite as a statute for you and for your sons forever. And when you come to the land that the Lord will give you, as he has promised, you shall keep this service. And when your children say to you, What do you mean by this service? You shall say, It is a sacrifice of the Lord's Passover, for he passed over the houses of the people of Israel in Egypt. When he struck the Egyptians but spared our houses, and the people bowed their heads and worshipped. Then the Lord of Israel went and did so, as the Lord had commanded. I'll take that again. Then the people of Israel went and did so, as the Lord had commanded Moses and Aaron, so they did. At midnight, the Lord struck down all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, from the firstborn of Pharaoh who sat on his throne to the firstborn of the captive who was in the dungeon, and all the firstborn of the livestock. And Pharaoh rose up in the night, and he and all his servants and all the Egyptians, and there was a great cry in Egypt, for there was not a house where someone was not dead. Then he summoned Moses and Aaron by night and said, Up, go out from among my people, both you and the people of Israel. Go and serve the Lord as you have said. Take your flocks and your herds as you have said, and be gone, and bless me also. The Egyptians were urgent with the people to send them out of the land in haste, for they said, We shall all be dead. So the people took their dough before it was leavened, their kneading bowls being bound up in their cloaks on their shoulders. The people of Israel had also done as Moses told them, for they had asked the Egyptians for silver and gold jewelry and for clothing. And the Lord had given the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians, so that they let them have what they asked. Thus they plundered the Egyptians. And the people of Israel journeyed from Ramesses to Succoth, about 600,000 men on foot, besides women and children. A mixed multitude also went up with them, and very much livestock, both flocks and herds. And they baked unleavened cakes of the dough that they had brought out of Egypt. For it was not leavened, because they were thrust out of Egypt and could not wait, nor had they prepared any provisions for themselves. The time that the people of Israel lived in Egypt was 430 years. At the end of the 430 years, on that very day, all the hosts of the Lord went out from the land of Egypt. It was a night of watching by the Lord, to bring them out of the land of Egypt. So this same night is a night of watching, kept to the Lord by all the people of Israel throughout their generations. And the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, This is the statute of the Passover. No foreigner shall eat it, but every slave that is bought for money may eat of it after you have circumcised him. No foreigner or hired worker may eat of it. It shall be eaten in one house. You shall not take any of the flesh outside the house, and you shall not break any of its bones. All the congregation of Israel shall keep it. If a stranger shall sojourn with you and would keep the Passover to the Lord, let all his males be circumcised. Then he may come near and keep it. He shall be a native of the land, but no uncircumcised person shall eat it. There shall be one law for the native and one for the stranger who sojourns amongst you. All the people of Israel did just as the Lord commanded Moses and Aaron. And on that very day, the Lord brought the people of Israel out of the land of Egypt by their host. Well, that was an interesting chapter. Not much to unpack there for me. It all seemed quite clear, to be totally honest. And the Israelites have left Egypt. And it took the firstborn dying of people and livestock to make Pharaoh say, okay, look, your people can go and bless me also. And they're gone. So I really do wonder what's going to happen next. I think the next few chapters are going to be just as interesting as the ones we've just read. Chapter 13. The Lord said to Moses, Consecrate to me all the firstborn, whatever is the first to open the womb among the people of Israel, both man and of beast, is mine. Then Moses said to the people, Remember this day in which you came out of Egypt, out of the house of slavery. For by a strong hand the Lord brought you out of this place. No leavened bread shall be eaten. Today in the month of Abib, you are going out. And when the Lord brings you into the land of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites, which he swore to your fathers to give you a land flowing with milk and honey, you shall keep this service in this month. 7 days you shall eat unleavened bread, and on the seventh day there shall be a feast to the Lord. Unleavened bread shall be eaten for 7 days. No unleavened bread shall be seen with you. No leaven shall be seen with you in all your territory. You shall tell your son on that day, It is because of what the Lord did for me when I came out of Egypt. And it shall be to a sign on your hand and as a memorial between your eyes, that the law of the Lord may be in your mouth. For with a strong hand the Lord has brought you out of Egypt. You shall therefore keep this statute as an appointment at its appointed time from year to year. When the Lord brings you out of the land of the Canaanites, as he brings you into the land of the Canaanites, as he swore to you and your fathers, and shall give it to you, you shall set apart to the Lord all that first opens the womb. All the firstborn of your animals that are males shall be the Lord's. Every firstborn of a donkey you shall redeem with a lamb. Or if you will not redeem it, you shall break its neck. Every firstborn of a man among your sons you shall redeem. And when in time to come your son asks you, what does this mean? You shall say to him, by a strong hand the Lord has brought us out of Egypt, from the house of slavery. For when Pharaoh stubbornly refused to let us go, the Lord killed all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both the firstborn of man and the firstborn of animals. Therefore I sacrifice to the Lord all the males that first open the womb, but all the firstborn of my sons I redeem. It shall be as a mark on your hand or frontlets between your eyes. For by a strong hand the Lord brought us out of Egypt. When Pharaoh let the people go, God did not lead them by way of the land of the Philistines, although that was near. For God said, lest the people change their minds when they see war and return to Egypt. But God led the people around by the way of the wilderness towards the Red Sea. That's interesting. And my understanding there is that the Lord didn't want the people to be surprised or shocked that early. Wanted to give them time to settle in. They'd been in Egypt for 430 years. So rather than take the shorter route, Shema, I wish I had a map here. I'm sure there's a map. So rather than take the shorter route, decided to take them by way of the wilderness towards the Red Sea. Oh, there's 600,000? That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. Okay, so I didn't prep for this. I was looking for a map, but there will be a map. I know there is a map. I was looking for a map in my Bible, but there isn't one here yet. I think it's early days. I think they're going to be out there for quite some time. So I think it'd be interesting just to have a look at the route that they took. So let's continue. There we go. And the people of Israel went up out of the land of Egypt, equipped for battle. Moses took the bones of Joseph with him, for Joseph had made the sons of Israel solemnly swear, saying, God will surely visit you, and you shall carry up my bones with you from here. And they moved on from Succoth and encamped in Etham on the edge of the wilderness. And the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of cloud to lead them along the way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light, that they might travel by day and by night. The pillar of cloud by day and the pillar of fire by night did not depart before the people. Yeah, that's so God was with them physically. They could see his presence through the fire what was it? The pillar of a cloud to lead them along the way by night, and a pillar of fire, so they could see the Lord in that physical form. So I wonder what that feeling would have been like. So actually I found that very interesting, because I never noticed before that the Lord decided to take them via a different route to avoid the Philistines and war at that early stage. So that for me is a pretty interesting learning point. So let's roll into chapter 14. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Tell the people of Israel to turn back and encamp in front of Pi-hahiroth between Migdol and the sea in front of Baal-zephon. You shall encamp facing it by the sea. For Pharaoh will say of the people of Israel, they are wandering in the land. The wilderness has shut them in. And I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and he will pursue them. And I will get glory over Pharaoh and all his hosts. And the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord." And they did so. When the king of Egypt was told that the people had fled, the mind of Pharaoh and his servants was changed towards the people. And they said, "What is this we have done, that we have let Israel go from serving us?" So he made ready his chariot and took his army with him, and took 600 chosen chariots and all the other chariots of Egypt with officers over all of them. And the Lord hardened the heart of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and he pursued the people of Israel while the people of Israel were going out defiantly. The Egyptians pursued them, all Pharaoh's horses and chariots and his horsemen and his army, and overtook them, and camped at the sea by Pi-hahiroth in front of Baal-zephon. When Pharaoh drew near, the people of Israel lifted up their eyes, and behold, the Egyptians were marching after them, and they feared greatly. And the people of Israel cried out to the Lord. They said to Moses, "Is it because there are no graves in Egypt that you have taken us away to die in the wilderness? What have you done to us in bringing us out of Egypt? Is not this what we said to you in Egypt? Leave us alone that we may serve the Egyptians, for it would have been better for us to serve the Egyptians than to die in the wilderness." And Moses said to the people, "Fear not, stand firm, and see the salvation of the Lord, which he will work for you today. For the Egyptians whom you see today, you shall never see again. Then the Lord will fight for you, and you have only to be silent." The Lord said to Moses, "Why do you cry to me? Tell the people of Israel to go forward. Lift up your staff and stretch out your hand over the sea, and divide it, that the people of Israel may go through the sea on the dry ground. And I will harden the hearts of the Egyptians, so that they shall go in after them, and I will get glory over Pharaoh and all his host, his chariots and his horsemen. The Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord, when I have gotten glory over Pharaoh, his chariots and his horsemen." Then the angel of God, who was going before the host of Israel, moved and went behind them. And the pillar of cloud moved from before them and stood behind them, coming between the host of Egypt and the host of Israel. And there was the cloud and the darkness, and it lit up the night, without one coming near the other all night. Then Moses stretched out his hand over the sea. I just want to read that again because I think it's an important verse to understand. And I just kind of fumbled that line a bit. I'm just going to start from verse 19. Then the angel of God, who was going before the host of Israel, also it was the angel of God, okay, moved and went behind them. And the pillar of the cloud moved from before them and stood behind them, coming between the host of Egypt and the host of Israel. And there was the cloud and the darkness, okay, and it lit up the night without one coming near the other all night. Okay, that makes sense now. Then Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Lord drove the sea back by a strong east wind all night, and made the sea dry, and the waters were divided. And the people of Israel went into the midst of the sea on dry ground, the waters being a wall to them on their right and on their left. The Egyptians pursued and went in after them into the midst of the sea, all Pharaoh's horses, his chariots, and his horsemen. And in the morning watch, the Lord of the pillar of fire and of the cloud looked down on the Egyptian forces and threw the Egyptian forces into a panic, clogging their chariot wheels so that they drove heavily. And the Egyptians said, "Let us flee from before Israel, for the Lord fights for them against the Egyptians." Then the Lord said to Moses, "Stretch out your hand over the sea, that the water may come back upon the Egyptians, upon their chariots, and upon their horsemen." So Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the sea returned to its normal course when the morning appeared. And as the Egyptians fled into it, the Lord threw the Egyptians into the midst of the sea. And the waters returned and covered the chariots and the horsemen of all the hosts of Pharaoh that had followed them into the sea. Not one of them remained. And the people of Israel walked on dry ground through the sea, and the waters being a wall to them on their right hand and on their left. Thus the Lord saved Israel that day from the hands of the Egyptians. Israel saw the Egyptians dead on the seashore. Israel saw the great power that the Lord used against the Egyptians. So the people feared the Lord, and they believed in the Lord and in his servant Moses. Well, not much to unpack there, and the people of Israel have seen the power of God, and the people of Egypt have suffered the consequences. So I feel happy reading that. The first time I read that, I remember I was a child with my children's Bible, and it was sort of like it had sketches and drawings in it, coloured sketches and drawings, and it was obviously easy enough for an 8-year-old to understand. So what a pleasure reading it to you again today. So that kind of went slightly according to the time that I was thinking about. So I have nothing to add, and the chat is pretty clear. That was, for me, that was quite an enjoyable session. It's nice to see the Hebrews, the Israelites, make their way out of slavery, and start their journey towards the promised land of milk and honey. So I look forward, because I'm going to be live streaming again tomorrow. So I really look forward to being here again in a few hours' time. And I hope you can join me live, or I hope this stream will encourage you to watch the next stream at your convenience. Take care now and have a lovely evening, and look forward to speaking to you all soon. Good night.